Okay, this conference agrees the annual membership subscription rates will increase by £3.50 from the 1st of July 2025 to the following. So single membership British Isles and Overseas, direct debit £34, non-direct debit £36. Single concessionary membership British Isles, direct debit £25.50, non-direct direct debit £27.50. Joint membership British Isles and Overseas, direct debit £42, non-direct debit £44. Joint concessionary members British Isles, direct debit £33.50, non-direct debit £35.50. This is being proposed by the National Executive, and Dean Barrett will propose.
Good afternoon, conference. Me again. So yes, I am here to set out the National Executive's rationale behind this motion, but I will particularly refer you to the presentation that Ian Hill made earlier on our finances and the importance of the membership fee to our income stream. So, background first, because I think that's extremely important. In 2004, the membership fee, if you were paying by direct debit, was £18, and the fee stayed at that level for 6 years until 2010. Between 2010 and 2016, there was only a £4 increase in the fee. Now, in 2016, research was conducted and the information fed to the National Executive at the time, which informed them that the membership fee was probably underpriced. As a result of that insight, it was agreed to continually increase the membership fee, let's call it on a little and often basis. This method addressed the ongoing inflationary pressures on the organisation, but it didn't address the issue that the membership fee had been frozen prior for a 6-year period. This recommended £3.50 fee increase addresses this and brings the membership fee back somewhat to where it should have been. So let's consider that for a minute. Going back to 2004, the membership fee, if you were paying by direct debit, taking into account inflation, is worth approximately £37 today. This motion we are proposing raises the price of membership at its lowest level to just below this at £34. Now, we believe that the membership fee represents real value for money. Members get free or discounted entry to all camera-run beer festivals across the country. We are continually seeking out offers with members in mind, giving opportunities to make savings over and above the membership fee. As you have heard already today, and we'll be talking about it further, we have a fantastic new digital platform, which is already seeing over 10,000 hits a day, as well as members and non-members alike coming to camera to seek out our unique, customer-focused data and all the digital tools we have to offer. As part of the camera membership fee, members can plan trips, tag their favourite pubs and breweries, access all the data that's in our Good Beer Guide and all cider information. And we'll be able to make full use of our new Learn and Discover programme, which is set to launch in June, enhancing the content and journey of discovery for camera members. And if you haven't seen it already, there's a test link to the new Learn and Discover programme on one of the screens in the members bar. And of course, our award-winning beer magazine, bringing you news and stories from new voices within the campaign and outside in the industry, as well as trusted writers about beer, cider, perry, pubs and clubs. Conference, the membership fee is proposed at the equivalent of less than £3 a month, represents very good value for money, and I urge you to vote for this motion. Thank you.
Do we have a seconder? Do you want to speak or do you reserve the right?
Reserve.
Reserve, thank you. Do we have anyone speaking against the motion? Oh, so I'm getting someone point. There we go, right in the back. Yeah, would you like to come to the front? Sorry, yeah, I should say, in the higher levels, it is a bit harder for me to see hands, so if at first I don't spot you, wave madly.
Hello, conference. My name's Simon Ardron. I'm 𝗖𝗀𝗀𝗿𝗲𝗍𝗂 branch. There's nothing actually wrong with increasing the fees, and it's what happens. The fee increase is around about 10%. But what concerns me is we saw earlier how membership numbers were dropping. And in relationship to the increase in price, the members are dropping. Now, if I go back to 1980, the early 80s, McDonald's used to sell a Big Mac and it was 79 pence. All the marketeers said, oh, we can get more money, we can make more profits. So it went up to £1. Went up to £1.20. It went up to £1.50 and it went up to £1.70 over a short period of time because that made more profit. Ray Kroc, who's the founder of McDonald's, said nothing recedes like success. McDonald's took a 10-year tumble in terms of their profitability. They went from 25% year-on-year growth down to negative growth. It took them 10 or 15 years to get back to the state they are now, where it is growing. I would just like you to consider for 1 minute, the people here have been able to afford to come to Torquay. The people who've come here have been able to afford to pay for a hotel for 2, 3, 4 nights, or your local. But what about the people who can't afford to come here, the people who are members of CAMRA on a pension? I believe concessionary fees do not apply to people over 67 anymore, unless they were existing at the time it was abolished. So you've now got a number of pensioners who are in their 70s, living on a state pension, who probably are very committed to real ale. They may not be able to afford the luxury of £34 or £36 because they don't want to do direct debit. So just please consider that before you make a decision and think about the people who are less well off, who are the committed campaigners, but the campaigners who are prepared to give their time, their effort and their commitment rather than their finances. Thank you.
Do I have anyone who would like to speak in favour of the motion? Yep, point of information, Tony.
Tony Morgan, Stourbridge and Hell's branch. One thing that hasn't been mentioned here is what will the life membership be increased to? I'm just thinking it might be very nice if our newly elected chairman would actually sort of vote for the future of the campaign, his willingness to succeed by taking out a life membership.
I think it was a question rather than information, but Dean, do you have an answer?
I don't have a precise answer to what the fee will be, but we use the same formula as we use now, a multiplier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not changing anything else in the procedure.
Thank you. Anyone who wishes to speak in favour of the motion? Catherine?
Good afternoon, Conference. Catherine Tonry, Events Director and Gravesend and Darren Valley Branch. Before I start though, I've had questions about the hat. Unfortunately, I had a detached retina about 3 weeks ago and had surgery, and therefore the lights on the stage are far too bright for me without it. Okay, so I'm speaking for this motion, obviously, because it's a national executive motion, but also because I believe that at the moment, our membership fee is very cheap compared to almost every single other membership organisation. At the moment, we're putting it up to £3 a month if you don't pay by direct debit. I don't believe that is a huge amount for the amount of benefits our members get. We get a huge amount of benefits. We get the dreaded vouchers, which I know not everybody uses. We get free or discounted entry to our beer festivals, which are fantastic. And as events director, I am very, very proud of all the events that our members put on across the country, and we allow our members free or discounted entry to them. Increasing the membership fee is not something we necessarily want to do. We've had people asking about those who cannot afford it. But in doing so, we can potentially in future, and we're discussing, increase the membership benefits. So we have an increase in the price, but then we can increase our benefits in line with that because it will cover those costs, and then hopefully it will bring in more members who can campaign for us. So I urge you to support this motion to secure the future of the campaign. We've already looked at the current decline in membership revenues and our increasing expense due to the state of the economy at the moment, and with a certain president in America, that potentially is only going to get worse. We need this increase that's above inflation to get back to where we should be in the first place. If we'd been increasing things as we went along, we would, as Dean has said, we'd already be at £37.50. This is cheaper than that. I urge you to support this motion, please. Thank you.
Do I have anyone to speak against the motion? Not seeing any hands. Ian, would you like to speak?
Go on then. Good afternoon, Ian Hill, nominally Gloucester branch, and I'll speak very, very briefly, if for no other reason than to, give one back to Dean for him doing all my speaking this morning. So thank you very much. I made the strongest case I possibly could this morning. You saw what the important effect of membership subscriptions on our revenues. Without strong membership subscriptions, we haven't got any money to do any of the things that we're spending the majority of the time this weekend talking about. I think that membership represents exceptional value for money, and I think this is an extremely modest increase. It's something that we've held back from doing over the last couple of years out of caution for people's expenditure, but the time has come for an extremely modest increase, which I'm grateful for Dean for doing the sums. It's still less than inflation over that period of time, and absolutely we want to wrap this up in a better membership offer. So you will be getting more for your money in due course. But for the time being, let's not view this as more than it is. It's an extremely modest increase that's very necessary. It's going to do an awful lot of good for the future of the campaign. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to a vote. All those in favour of motion 2, please raise your hands. All those against? Motion is carried.